Hey folks, K1GMM's Maniac here. What we are looking at is a 4-element hybrid Moxon. Sorry about the shaky camera. It's cold and I'm starting to shiver. A lightweight. Anyways, I'm going to do kind of an update on this quite remarkable beam antenna. Very compact beam for 6 meters. This is a 6 meter 4-element hybrid Moxon. It's the bigger one that's underneath the 2-element quad. I have a 2-element quad stacked above it for sideband work. So we'll get inside, talk a little bit about it, and show you what's going on into more detail. It's built on basically a 2x6 hub, and I use fiberglass driveway markers as the spreaders. Very cheap, very inexpensive, and I'll tell you what, these things are very underrated, and I'll tell you why shortly. We'll get inside.
Hey you guys, how's it going? Hey Glenn, John, good to see you guys. This is just going to be quick and hopefully painless. I had a friend of mine contact me a while back, and I've been meaning to do this. I built let me give you a little background. I built a 4-element hybrid Moxon for 6 meters. This was, what, about a year ago, I think now. Put it up, had really good luck with it. Well, this chappie found the build plan that I did, and he ran with it. And he did some testing, and it was interesting to see. So I figured I'd do a complete rundown. Yes, I am. Are you back at work, Glenn, or me? So I figured I'd do a rundown, a more specific, more well laid out explanation of what this antenna is. So, I'm sorry about that. Moxon rectangle. If you're not familiar with it, go online. They're a very compact beam. They're similar to a 2-element Yagi, except the driven element and the reflectors are folded in towards each other, making it more compact, and you can get appreciable gain like a Moxon. Pretty much any 2-element Moxon has appreciable gain over a 2-element Yagi. This is why I like them. It's because they're very compact and they're excellent antennas. They're very underrated. Now, going back in time, when I first got licensed, this was 2015, and prior to that, back up a few years, I constructed my first real antenna, and it's probably the best antenna I've ever built and probably ever will build. It was a 4-element hybrid 11-meter Moxon when I used to play on 11 meters. That was an absolute weapon, that antenna. I used very heavy gauge wire, 10 gauge wire. It was 4 elements, and basically when I got into 10 meters, when I got my ticket, I got on 10 meters, and I was running about 70 watts out of an Anytone Quad 6 transceiver on 10 meters. I logged 12 to 13, I think 1,300 plus contacts between the end of August of 2015 and the beginning of November of 2015, running that antenna on 10 meters, and it actually loaded up okay. Had enormous bandwidth. Bandwidth went from 26.8 megahertz all the way to 28 point one something, 1.5 to 1 or less SWR. Think about that as far as bandwidth. That's like 26, 27, 28. That's like 1.5 megs of bandwidth. 1.5 megs, 1.5 to 1 or less. Enormous bandwidth. The gain on it, I went from running, I was running 70 watts out of the transceiver to the antenna, and I was working stations consistently running like 5-element, 6, 7-element monobanders. They were running 700 watts and I was hitting them as hard as they were hitting me on 70. So, and that was real. That's the real deal. Very underrated, an absolute nasty antenna, smoking gun. So let me, I'm going to show you first what it looks like. So, and I'm doing this, and this is going to render to YouTube. So if someone wants to see the specs, they can stop the video and write them down, or do a screenshot or something like this. This is what I have for the 6-meter 4-element hybrid. Okay, so let me get over to the desktop. Alrighty. Okay, so this is what she looks like. This is the angle, this arrow. This is the front of the antenna. This is the reflector back here. So these are your folded, basically bent dipoles. This is the reflector. This is the driven element right here. X is the feed point. And the beautiful thing about these antennas is they're 50 ohm. They require no transformer. I love them for that. Put a piece of coax on it and go. This is the first director right here. It's the second director right here. Okay, 9 1/8. First of all, it's about 83.5 inches across. And this is what you were looking at the start of the stream. The spacing is critical on these. Don't ask me how I came up with the spacing. It's too much to go into right now. So that's what that looks like. So let me grab the model. I'll show you what the picture looks like for the average. And when you see this, your eyes are going to pop out of your head, man. I guarantee it. This is an MMA&A model of a 4-element hybrid. This is general. So let me pull this up. Check that out, Junior Johnson. Now, the front to back, they're claiming about 15 dB front to back. I see exponentially more front to back on mine. I would say somewhere between 20 and 30 dB front to back, probably pushing 30 dB on mine. 13.6 dBi. Flat SWR 1.0. For roughly 14-degree elevation angle. The interesting thing about the Moxons, this is what I wanted to point out. Moxons usually have multiple lobes. Now, if you were going to look at, so let me expand this a little bit. Okay, so if you were, when you look at this, the elevation angle, right? The gain, even at a medium to medium high elevation angle, is pretty good. It's pretty remarkable. The reason why I like the Moxons, 1, you don't have to run them high off the ground. 2, running them at a full wavelength high basically gets you nothing. Whereas a Yagi needs to be very high off the ground, as well as quads, to function at their peak level. So they're very forgiving. You don't have to put them up very high. But you'll see, like, on a 2-element Moxon, you'll see like 3 fingers, 3 lobes coming out. This lobe is a little bit lower, comes out like around right here. And the 3rd lobe comes off like this. And what happens when you start adding elements on these, you get a level of compression where your maximum gain comes at the lower. Hey Ian, how you doing? Your angle of radiation at the low angle, the difference between the first 2 lobes is exaggerated when you start adding elements to them. This is what I found. Okay, Ian, bringing you up to speed. We're going over a 6-meter 4-element hybrid Moxon that I have here at the house. And you'll be able to go back and watch, see what's going on. This isn't going to take very long. Okay, so that's the deal. As you can see, it's not really a very sharp antenna. It's very forgiving. You can point it in the general direction where you want to go and pretty much work. And this is really applicable to all Moxons. They're very, very similar. Yeah, it'll vary a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the bandwidth on this thing. I got 4 megs of bandwidth. When you see it, you won't believe it. So let's get over to the radio. I'm going to pull up the radio, and I'm just going to do an SWR sweep. And this is going to sweep from about just off of 50 megahertz, going all the way to just shy of, probably to 54 megahertz. So when you see this, you're going to love it. Here we go. I'm going to start the sweep now. Virtually flat. It doesn't even register as far as the SWR on the 7300. Put it on an analyzer, you'll see a couple little you'd see, if you put it on an analyzer, you'd see a couple little humps where it jumps up to about 1.1, 1.15 to 1. But that's about it. Let me see if I can find... I'll pull this up on the screen. Hang on. I need to locate it. This is the test that a friend of mine did. He built this antenna. Here we go. Okay, and I'm going to leave this on the screen for a little bit so it'll render. People can read it. You know, stop the video and read it. So let me get over to the desktop. Okay, this is Dave, November 9 Charlie Hotel Mike, and he said it's fine to share this. He says, "Hi Steve, I finished my Moxon, completed testing at 12 feet. SWR was 1.3 to 1. Spreadsheet shows RX signals and a few of those TX reports at 5 feet above ground during the recent 6-meter contest. SWR at 5 feet was 2 to 1. 3 to 4 S units forward gain. Now keep in mind, mine's at about 33 feet. It does change when you get it 15, 20 feet off the ground. SWR will go flat. And that's where she really, 15 to 20 feet on a 6-meter Moxon, it really comes into its own. Get it up 30, 40 feet, oh yeah. 3 to 4 S units forward gain compared to 160 meter dipole at 66 feet. Not the best antenna for 6 meters. Pretty poor actually. Good 4 S units down on side to back. SWR 24 feet. This is what I was saying. 1.15 to 1 at 50.1. Going up to 1.6. Now, I believe he's using thinner wire. Now, the wire I use, these antennas, oh, heck yeah, don't buy one. My God, these things are so, just to address the chat, these things are so cheap and so easy to build. God, you can build them out of plumbing. Go get yourself, spend $5 to $10 on some half-inch PVC. That's all you need. That's what he built his out of. So you'll be able to kind of work through this. So let me see if I can grab something he... where are you? Okay. Okay. This is basically what was going on. Okay, 3 S units, 6 dB per S unit. So that makes sense. In the real world, I think at maximum height, he's going to see considerably more than that, I would imagine. So let me grab the other one here. This is what he has his configured as right here. I haven't looked to see. I haven't looked to see how different his is than mine. So okay, so that's it for that in a nutshell. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to tear through. Let me address some things on the chat. Cheaper than buying one. That's pretty cheap for a 5-element quad, Glenn. Oh, Glenn. That's fantastic. Yeah, the hubs are the tough part. Now, would it compare to? I have a 3-element quad here that I use for contesting. It's about 9.5 dB gain. It works really good, but in my opinion, you know, for the size, I mean, this 4-element quad could easily be used portable as well. Or not the, I'm sorry, the 4-element Moxon could easily be used portable. So it's very compact. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Yeah, so that's, I'm trying to think if I was going to share anything else. I think that's it. Good Lord. Let me see if I can grab. I'll just go over. See if just an update on the QSO party, you guys. I ended up with over 14,000 points. I got 62 of 67 counties. Oh, Glenn. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, you're a sick man. Ooh, boy, I just pegged the meter. Sorry about that, you guys. What did I end up with? 62 of 67 counties, and total points were over 14,000. I did get the bonus station. And total contacts were 239. So that turned out to be pretty good after the scare I had Sunday morning, which was a flippin' nightmare. So that's about it, you guys. I'm going to just race through here, make sure I didn't forget anything. And then I'm going to shut the stream down and let this render. So I think that is it. So if you guys don't have anything else for me, I'm getting out of here. So it was just going to be a short, quick one. And just to give you a heads up, kind of back to this 6-meter 4-element Moxon. This was this past, I think it was beginning of this summer when sporadic E season was starting. I heard this noise on 6 meters, and 6 meters tends to be a noisy band. So I spun the beam, I spun it around, and as I was turning it, there's an idiot that lives across the street. He's about 3 football fields away. And as it was turning, I couldn't hear the signals, but I could see it on FTA. I could see it on the screen, these like series of lines. So as it started turning towards him, all of a sudden the noise floor came up to like an S7, S8, and it was building. As it went by him and started going south, it got to pointing southwest. I couldn't hear it anymore. I spun it all the way around, went west. He's directly east, and it completely disappeared. So the front to back is really severe on this thing. I would say pushing 30 dB. So we'll catch you guys later. 7-3, have a good day, and good luck in your builds. And Glenn, at some point you're going to have to let me know how you made out, how it's been for you, that 3-element quad. So in a future stream, let me know. Just go ahead and change the subject, whatever's going on. Pig tips, there you go. 7-3, you guys, have a good one. I'll go ahead and sign on the stream here, and then I'll shut it down. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be around maybe later on, next day or two. Catch you later.